This is All Sports All the Time, episode 18 of Season 2. We are continuing the Summer Sportscaster series. It's October. I know it's not summer anymore, but we're continuing the series anyway because we've got that many sportscasters and just the alliteration's better. Fall Sportscaster series doesn't sound as good. So we're going to keep calling it that. Whatever. Stop bothering me about it. We have Liam Mulherin joining us this week. As you can see on YouTube, if you're listening, you'll figure out that he's here. You'll hear his voice. Before we start, just the reminder to do all the things like subscribe, follow, comment, anything else you can think of, and share the podcast with a racing fan this week because Liam is our racing expert. We will get into all of that, but first, Liam, could you just introduce yourself, name, where you're from, sports you enjoy, teams you root for, all the basic info?
Sure thing. What's up, everyone? My name is Liam Mulherin, and I am from Millville, New Jersey, home of Mike Trout. However, as he said, I'm a racing fan, not a baseball fan. Yay. I am also a part-time race car driver and producer for sports. Obviously, I've covered baseball, football, and everything except racing, sadly. Nothing there? Don't worry.
That's the goal. Yeah.
Main goal. Gonna get there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, that's the first time we've had someone without us asking the question, what is your goal in the sportscasting industry? I already is. So I can tell you're a race car fan for sure.
Yeah, the main goal is to eventually, I'm hoping to work with either NBC or Fox, but I want to work on NASCAR mainly, and hopefully later I could hopefully work on Formula One and IndyCar, because traveling the world with those two series would be awesome.
Is there a specific role that you would want with any of those companies?
So for Fox and the NBC, mainly NASCAR, I would love to be a play-by-play commentator or a pit road reporter. But I'm also just okay with being a camera op because just being there and experiencing the race is absolutely amazing.
I agree 100%, but I don't know from personal experience. Hopefully, we can change that. You gave me a good idea for like the next 5 years. You know, when I can afford something like that, going to visit one of those races would be absolutely electric.
Dude, race tracks in America, especially race tracks are all over the place, especially dirt tracks. You can find them almost anywhere. It's just about $20 to get into any racetrack, and NASCAR races at the cheapest are $40 to $58.
Oh wow!
So just go out and take a weekend off and experience a race. It's an amazing experience, and you will not forget it. I promise you that.
Oh man, you're selling me, Liam. You're selling me, right? I think that might be out of my next endeavor. I do have a plane ticket that I have to use this year still. I'm trying to figure out what to do with that. So, I don't know. You're giving me some good ideas.
If Parker were to use that ticket, what's the best venue he could go to, in your opinion?
For the remainder of the year, the two best venues I would suggest would either be Martinsville, one because it's a close quarters track, so it shows you the basis of what NASCAR is all about. And it's amazing community there. Plus, guarantee the best hot dogs out of any track on the calendar.
Okay, I love hot dogs.
The second track I would suggest is Phoenix, and that's just because that's where the championship is this year. And it's always...
That's good reasoning.
Yeah.
Phoenix is nice. I mean...
True, good area also, yeah.
Nice weather in Phoenix. I could play some golf while I'm there.
There you go.
That'd be a nice combo. A little golf, then you go see a NASCAR race in Phoenix. That'd be when is the championship?
So championship, man, I was just about to look that up too. Yeah,
I'm thinking about the weather in Phoenix. Like if it's I guess we're in October now, so it's not going to be like blazing hot regardless. But as long as it's in the winter in Phoenix, that'd be perfect.
Yeah, this year is November 5th, so it's usually always the middle or beginning of November is the championship race.
There you go. The Phoenix in November sounds fantastic. We had Connor on last week, and he used to live in Arizona, so we'll have to get his take on the best time to be in Phoenix. But that sounds pretty nice.
Yeah, I've actually never been there myself. I've only been to the East Coast track, so I haven't gone west yet. But from the sounds of it, it's always fun. I know a guy who has gone, my buddy Connor. He went and he said he had so much fun there.
Nice. Sweet. Back to you specifically. What is it that's appealing about sportscasting to you?
Oh man, so there's actually a story behind that. Ever since I was little, I wanted to be a race car driver, but then I also wanted to be a police officer. So I decided to try to I decided to try to go to school to become a police officer. But my cousin, who is also a police officer, suggested I don't do that, because if I do want to become an officer, I can just go to the academy and learn the same things. So I decided to take up broadcasting. And so I went to Cumberland County Technical Education Center for studio production and broadcasting. And I fell in love with the whole process, especially just the filming aspect of everything. And then during my racing career, I ended up getting into a wreck that pretty much ended the season for me. Not physically, just the car was totaled. So I ended up hanging out the rest of my time in the announcer's booth, and I fell in love with commentating. And then one weekend, the announcer, Jim, ended up being a little sick, and he asked me if I could do just some commentary for him for just this one race, and I'm like, sure. And the fans loved it so much that the track asked me to do it again and again. And so that's how I fell in love with sportscasting. And then I found out about Full Sail, and here I am.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So you got an opportunity because you had done some stuff behind the scenes in the broadcast booth, and then the main broadcaster got a little sick. You stepped in, and then that was kind of like your little window, your opportunity.
Oh, it wasn't even like I did behind the scenes stuff. No, we just hung out. I literally
just watched.
Yeah, during the race weekend, I just went up there because it was the only place at the track that was air conditioned, and I just hung out there the entire time.
That part.
Just find the AC.
Exactly.
Oh man, that's awesome. So why should to Full Sail then? What brought you to Full Sail?
So I was mainly looking for a sportscasting degree, specifically sportscasting, not broadcasting, just sportscasting, because I knew there was one out there. And originally, I actually had my eye set on Clemson because they had a new sportscasting group, sportscasting course, and they also were just a couple miles down the road from Charlotte Motor Speedway, the home of NASCAR. So I thought that would be a great opportunity. But then I heard about but then my grandparents actually learned about Full Sail, and so they passed it on to me, and I learned about Full Sail, learned about Dan Patrick. Plus, we're only a few miles away. I can't say a few miles because we're like an hour away, hour and a half traffic, but we're an hour away from Daytona Beach. So I was like, you know what? Let me take a look at Clemson. Let me take a look at Full Sail. Full Sail's a lot cheaper, and it gets me out faster. All right, let's go with Full Sail. And that was pretty much my entire mindset.
Clemson's not one that I've heard a lot of people say that they were looking at for sportscasting. That's interesting. I haven't heard anyone else say that.
When I looked at it, it was a very new program. And at the time, it was still only considered a certificate. So you'd still have to go through the main broadcasting course.
Oh,
so I looked at it now, and I think it's now its own independent course.
Gotcha. So you're choosing between two orange and white schools.
Oh, yeah.
was the preferred color scheme apparently.
At sports, so it was kind of like I could go to Full Sail and learn all this hands-on stuff, but if I go to Clemson, then I actually learn about football. They got this great community and NASCAR, but you know what? It's Florida. Let me go hang out in Florida. So,
But it's pretty nice. I kind of wish I was hanging out in Florida right now.
you might die in the summer, but
No, it's not that bad. You'd be fine. That's the statement of a lot of retirees. Just quote, "Let me go hang out in Florida." So.
Oh, I thought you were gonna. No, I thought you were gonna say.
You might die in the summer? Oh, I was taking it back farther.
let's get back on
What?
topic. Oh my gosh.
Those retirees might die in the Florida heat. That's terrible. I would never say that.
Florida retirees.
Oh my god, man.
Oh man.
Yeah, I apologize to any Florida retirees listening. That is not. I didn't mean it like that. Oh my word. So your grandparents found out about Full Sail. You looked into it. You were like, "This is pretty nice. It costs." That was basically my mindset as well. It costs less. I'm out sooner. That's pretty good to me.
Plus, it gave me camera and MacBook, so that was another.
That too. The Project Launchbox, all of that. The equipment is pretty nice too. You would not have gotten that at Clemson.
Oh no.
Okay. Okay. How's the program been compared to what your expectations were?
It's been a lot more difficult than what my expectations were, but it's also been a lot of fun, which was what I was really hoping for the program. And I've gotten to meet such fantastic people at the school, like you, so it's been an absolute blast, and I love it here.
What do you have to say about Jake, one of our classmates? Speaking of fantastic people you've met, Jake being one of them, how do you feel about him constantly calling out New Jersey and calling it garbage?
Man, I don't want you to bleep anything.
That's basically just a no comment.
Yeah, I'm gonna say a no comment.
Okay.
I plead the fifth.
Yeah. Oh my word.
What I will say to him is that I hope, because we were talking about betting on the Talladega race today, and I had suggested Ross Chastain to him, who is one of my favorite drivers in the sport, and I hope he didn't bet on him because he wrecked out on like lap 5 of the second stage. So
It wouldn't shock me if Jake was betting on that race in some way, but yeah, hopefully he didn't listen to you on that. Liam sent in our Sportscasters group chat a video clip from the race today at Talladega, and he sent the clip, and then underneath he said fire, and I thought, just seeing the text, I was like, oh man, something cool must have happened, like, oh, this is fire. And then I clicked on the video, and it was a literal fire on the track. Like, there was actually a fire.
yeah. So quick story behind that. I think it was it wasn't the 45. It was Ty Gibbs. Obviously you recognize that name from Coach Gibbs. He actually owns a NASCAR team. So Ty Gibbs, he ended up pulling his gas can out of his pit stall, and it ended up catching the fumes of his muffler, and the entire gas can caught on fire instead of the pit lane.
Oh, that was in the pit. Oh my word.
Yeah. So yeah,
Okay.
we're starting left and right trying to avoid this big ball of flame.
Jeez. Yeah, well, since Liam sent the video, I'll put that in here so you guys could see. But yeah.
Oh yeah, put in the clip of the truck race too.
Yeah, it was just a big fire right in the middle of the pit lane.
Pit lane is arguably the most dangerous part of the track.
Did not know that.
Oh yeah.
I just know from cars that it's a cool place. That's my only knowledge of it. I don't know. Pit lane seems pretty cool. They'll just like hang out there.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. But then you come in, and then you have the entire all 40 cars coming in at once in stalls separated by 3 inches.
It's kind of like calm. Well, not necessarily calm, but like, like you're just hanging out in the pit lane, and then like when it's go time, it's go time.
Oh yeah, caution. Everyone thinks the green laps are chaos, but when cautions come out, it is a complete destructive chaos on pit road.
What job would you least trust me and Parker to do? Well, I feel like you wouldn't trust us to do any of them, so.
I would trust you to put the bolts on the tires before they go on.
There we go. We'll take that.
In the Xfinity Truck Series, there's 5 lug nuts on the tires. So what they do is that they glue the lug nuts onto each tire so that they're already there when they slap the tire onto the car.
So you would trust us to glue them?
I trust you to glue the lug nuts.
Sweet. There we go.
The one I wouldn't trust you to do is actually put the tires on the car, because then I don't think you'd be willing to go out there with your back facing cars that are racing down pit lane between 30 to 50 miles an hour.
No. Definitely not.
I definitely couldn't do the glue part. That
it's the easiest job.
Parker's like, I couldn't even do that one.
My pedigree, I don't know. The glue would definitely fall off. But I could do the thing where like you jump in front of the car and hold the thing, and then you go away and like go.
Oh, you mean you want to be the jack man? Is that what you want to do?
I mean, that sounds cool.
Hey, what does the jack man do?
He jacks up the car. He goes up to the car and he does exactly what you did. Places a jack under the car, runs around the other side, does the same thing.
I can't do that. No, I would blow that. Unless I was able to practice for about 2 hours, then I could nail it.
You know what you could be? You know what you could be? You could be the snack guy. You could literally be the guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Goes over the wall and runs the snacks to the driver during the race.
Yes, I could do that because I would get food.
You gotta remember that the food is for the driver, man. You can't eat it yourself.
Well, I mean,
I'm the snack man. I thought,
if he controls the snack portions, I mean, it's really just his decision.
So the snack man isn't the one eating the food for the driver. The driver has to actually eat the food himself, is what you're saying.
I would hope so. I don't want him passing out on the track. We saw an example of that earlier today. That's what caused Chastain to wreck.
Oh,
I think you could split it, Parker. Like, you know, dad tax, like your dad will just like come by and like take a piece of your food. It's dad tax. I think you could just do that. Like, you're walking over with the snack, you just snag a quick bite. He's not going to notice. He's in the middle of racing. Like,
snack man.
Not focus on that. So I think that's perfect for your skill set.
I agree. Yeah. Eat food, give people food. Perfect.
Yeah. And you're fast, you're agile, so like you'd be moving around, getting the snack. Like, yeah, you're kind of made for that role.
I agree. Liam, this is kind of like the race car episode because you do know a lot about racing. So I have to ask you some questions, obviously, about racing because I have a lot of questions about it, and I'm not like a pro at, understanding NASCAR, Formula One, Indy, whatever you said earlier. So, okay. So my first question is that documentary that you have on Formula One. Okay, how do they do that? Because like they don't do that for like basketball and football. Like, how do they get a documentary like that?
So, with Formula One, that all came up. Well, yeah, Owen's right. Money, a lot of moolah, and that all actually goes down to Netflix. Netflix has their own private partnership with the Formula One broadcasting group, so they end up just sending their own cameramen, and they send a certain number of cameramen and reporters to every team. And then that's what they do. They just record whatever they can find on every team. And then during the races, most of the footage you're actually seeing is footage from Sky Sports and Formula One productions. But a lot of the private team footage that you see of like inside their companies, their workshops, of them just privately going out and goofing off. That's usually taken by Netflix recorders.
Okay. Okay, I got you. And then they piece it all together to get you one final product, build all the storylines and everything.
That's
Gotcha.
that's pretty much what they do. That's why it's always premiered before the beginning of the following season, because they take the whole off season to put together all the stories and everything. Which, by the way, a lot of the stories in that show are completely like blown out of proportion.
Oh, of course.
The first time I watched it, I'm like, what the heck are they talking about between a rivalry of Max Verstappen and Daniel Ricciardo? Like, sure, they were pissed off at each other after that wreck, but none of them wanted to, like, punch each other. Like, what the heck?
They had to hype it up. They had to dramatize it for the clicks and the views.
I watched season 1 of the documentary, so now I'm kind of let down. So it's like all not real.
It's all real.
Like,
of course.
Actually,
It's all real, but I'm just saying it's completely, most of the stuff you're going to see, it's completely blown out of proportion.
Okay. Gotcha. I got you to build the drama.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Okay, what about... Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say it's pretty much what Formula One's all about. It's all about the drama between teams and drivers.
Okay, so here's my next question. And this one I'm so confused about, because there's literally cars that are faster and there's cars that are slower and like have no chance, right? So even if you put like, for example, I don't know, is like Max Verstappen, even if you put him into like one of the horrible cars, you know, he wouldn't win because the car is horrible, right? So like, I'm so confused. Why do they all have the same cars that it's all based off whoever's better?
Yeah, why is it in NASCAR, right? Well, the reason behind that is the development. It's actually the difference between America audiences and European audiences. Here in America, we care about a lot of drivers' individual skill, and I'm not saying they don't care about that over in Europe, but we care about a lot of driver individual skill, and we care about how each person is able to do the same exact thing but be better at it. In Formula One in Europe, it's a combination of driver skill, team dynamics, and engineering. Who can engineer the car platform the best out of any group? And that's pretty much why. Plus, you have teams with bigger budgets, which is why we have that budget cap now, so that the bigger teams can't get too far away from the smaller teams. The only problem I see with the budget cap is that those bigger teams, they're set. But if you look at a team at Williams, who their new team manager learned that they're like 10 years behind the times in terms of their, in terms of their engineering and their garages, they're like 10 years behind the times compared to Mercedes and Red Bull. So because of that budget cap, they can't upgrade those facilities, which is insane.
Yeah, that is crazy. So
it's a bunch of like, it has a lot to do with money, it has a lot to do with sponsors, it has a lot to do with drivers. Like Max Verstappen, I'm sure he would be competitive in any car he ran because he's friggin' Max Verstappen. But I could also say the same thing for Lewis Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
So best.
Sorry, you cut out on that one. What was that?
So who's the best?
Who's the best? Right now, so the best driver. Yeah, best driver has undoubtedly got to be Max Verstappen, and best constructors, which I mean team, has undoubtedly got to be Red Bull, because Red Bull, they have the funding and they basically stole a lot of engineers from Mercedes and other teams this year, over the past 2 years actually. So they have a lot of different viewpoints and a lot of different guys from different pedigrees. So and plus Max is just, I don't even know how to describe that man. He is crazy, he is bold, he is damn fast.
So who's your favorite?
There you go.
My favorite driver is actually Daniel Ricciardo. I love his personality. I love how playful he is, and he has a lot of talent. He is definitely one of the most competitive drivers in the field, given the chance.
So is he not given the chance? What?
Ever
The deal.
he left Red Bull? I do not think so. He has been downfall after downfall for him.
Gotcha. So he's losing.
He's losing, but he's back. He's back with Red Bull in the form of AlphaTauri now. The only thing I hate about that is he broke his hand the first time he went back out with them.
Ugh.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. They signed a contract for him though next year, so they'll be with AlphaTauri next year. So that's good.
Well, I mean, it's not like it's basketball where you need your hands. Like, no, probably or
No.
I think your hand's kind of like one of the most important parts.
If you do not have a hand, you will not be a driver. That is.
really.
Oh yeah. The hands are undoubtedly the most important part about being the driver. Oh, it's undoubtedly. And the reason I say that is because there are now mods out there that you can put on your vehicles that you can control the throttle with your hands and with the steering wheel.
Oh.
There's a former IndyCar driver. He ended up being in a horrible wreck where he almost died and he lost the ability to use his legs. So now they have a special system on his steering wheel.
So he kept racing? That's the first part of this. Hold on. So he lost the ability to use his legs. Anyway, so now when he's racing.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, so, what was that?
Wow. Shout out to him. Anyway, sorry for interrupting. You just like breezed past anyway, so now when he's racing, it was like he's still racing?
Who is it? He's like David Goggins of race car.
Yeah, I see. Man, I keep on forgetting his name. That's the
I can look it up while you can keep going. I'll find it.
Yeah, you can look it up. But the reason why I breezed past that is because it's so natural for us race car drivers to do that. I would break literally when I have a problem in my feet where between my ankle at the bottom of my foot is supposed to be a joint so it can roll like this. I don't have that joint. So I have to have surgery on my feet to literally break my feet apart and put everything back together to create that joint. So I had that surgery done, and I couldn't walk. I wasn't allowed to walk at all, and it was 2 months before the racing season. So I did everything I could to get back into the race car, and my physical therapist hadn't fully, cleared me yet, but I still got back in the race car and raced. So that's not uncommon for us to do.
I guess race car drivers are breed. You know what I mean?
Well, race car drivers are absolutely a different breed.
You have to be a certain. I say this a lot. You have to be a certain type of crazy to be able to put yourself, for NASCAR drivers at least, in a metal box, basically a coffin, and race at about 180, 190 miles an hour, 3 inches between cars with 40 other cars for 500 miles. It's insane.
That is pretty crazy. I didn't think about it because when I drive, a lot of times I just use one hand. You know what I mean? So I thought you lose one, you're fine. You still have another one.
Right. Yeah.
Not the case when you're in. So you're saying that they actually hold the steering wheel like you should when they're driving.
They're not sitting back like this, cruising while we're racing.
The last time, I am sad to say, rest in peace. The last time someone did that, we lost Dale Earnhardt Sr. So.
Oh wow, dark turn.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Dale Earnhardt.
Was he known for driving with one hand?
No, he was known for being the greatest and he's undoubtedly one of the most famous NASCAR drivers, greatest NASCAR drivers, and aggressive NASCAR drivers. But what I mean by that is he relaxed his belts a lot. He relaxed his belts, and so when he wrecked in 2001, his belt actually ended up breaking his neck. So, yeah.
Anyway, I found that article about the guy, the paralyzed. We'll go from the death of Dale Earnhardt Sr. to the paralyzed racer that Liam was talking about earlier. Like he said, special kind of crazy. These people have to be. His name is Michael Johnson. He was paralyzed from the chest down. I'm just going to read a bit from this article because I think it's really interesting, and then we can discuss it. He was paralyzed from the chest down a few days after a devastating motorcycle racing accident. His doctor advised him to accept his new reality and live according to its rules. He could no longer play the tuba. And motor racing, that was even more out of the question. So no tuba. The doctor underestimated the 12-year-old Johnson's resolve. The injured boy ordered his father to bring the instrument to the hospital, and when the physician arrived for rounds, he was greeted by the deep pa of Johnson's tuba. It was the last time anyone told Johnson that anything was beyond his reach. So it all started with a tuba, which is a great title for a book. It all started with a tuba. So he went from there to getting back into racing. 2 years later, after his crash, he was racing karts. Now he's in the Pro Mazda series, which is just below IndyCar. He uses a hand-controlled electronic throttle on the left of the steering wheel and then a pair of shifter paddles on the right. To brake, he pushes on the steering column. That's crazy.
Yep, and the funny thing is, this is my first time hearing about that one, because that wasn't the driver I was talking about.
There's another one?
There's another one. So
All right, it wasn't Michael Johnson.
I just looked it up.
Wow.
Here we go. So,
Okay, Liam's got the correct one. We don't care about Michael Johnson anymore.
No, Michael Johnson, an interesting story. Like, that's awesome. That is an amazing thing to hear. Like, I remember hearing the name, but I didn't realize that's what has happened with him. And oh my gosh. Well, props out to him, my man. Gee.
Shout out Michael Johnson and his tuba.
For two, you combine Michael Jordan, that Magic Johnson.
There you go.
Yup.
Magic Johnson.
So who's the guy you were thinking of, Liam?
The guy I was talking about was driver Robert Wickens. He was paralyzed at a race in Pocono, and if you don't know what Pocono is, it's a super speedway, which means it's over 2 miles long, and it's known as the Tricky Triangle, because instead of having an oval, it's literally a triangle-shaped track. It only has 3 turns. And it is one of the most dangerous tracks that was on the IndyCar calendar. I don't know if they did it next year or not. So he ended up being in a wreck that threw him into the fence and had him hit. I think he got hit by another vehicle. He didn't lose mobility from the chest down, but he did lose mobility for mostly his legs. So he does the same exact thing, and he raced in the 24 Hours to Daytona this year.
Wow.
His team was actually one of the lead competitors.
Okay. Wow. So that's, yeah.
Yeah, he uses the same exact system. And it's amazing what these guys will do and learn to get back out on track. It's an undying devotion to the sport.
Yeah. Back to the initial amazement. He gets paralyzed, can't use his legs. He's like, yeah, but how can I keep racing? So that's insane.
Yeah. Wait. I have one more question.
Yeah.
Do race car drivers, and I think this is where I could, handle the race car driving, maybe, I don't know. But do they need like really, really good reflexes and stuff?
Oh, hell yeah. Here's the thing. What sports do you do? Because he said you got some really good reflexes. So
I love reflexes.
Reflexes are my favorite.
Well, so I hit a tennis ball against the wall and then catch it to train my reflexes like elite wall ball. You know what I mean?
Okay.
He's very good at wall ball. He's always been good at jackpot, catching footballs.
There you go.
Basketball would be his expertise. Volleyball, he was good at volleyball too. Need reflexes for that.
And tennis. I played tennis. I played golf.
Golf, definitely not a reflex thing.
Oh, I tried to
Not
catch
last
a golf
at
ball.
least.
Did I tell you that?
What?
That's a different story. Go ahead, Liam.
Okay, you just threw that out there.
We got all types of stories going on here.
We'll come back to that.
We're gonna make the time. Well, but so, and I don't know if I'm getting my stats correct here, so don't quote me on this. But for like basketball, football, hockey, soccer, volleyball, your mind is operating with reflexes at about, I want to say, about 1,000th of a second.
That's pretty fast.
Each reflex you're thinking about is about 1,000th of a second. That's what you need to be able to compete. For NASCAR drivers and for race car drivers in general, stop comparing them with NFL, with basketball, hockey. Stop comparing them with everyone else. Think of them more as like military-grade fighter pilots. These guys have to be able to react within millionths of a second. And they're literally, one of their exercises is to go face first against a wall and to poke dots that they can't even see and predict them. Yeah, you can find it on the internet. You can put it up right here. I'll leave you a segment like right here.
Yeah. Not that they can't see. If they can't see them, how?
The entire idea of the exercise is to face forward and look straight ahead and poke dots to either side of them, barely able to seeing them. The only way
peripheral,
right outside their peripheral vision.
Wow.
So you got to be able to react so fast, especially in Formula One, because things can happen in an absolute instant. To race car drivers, a football being thrown is like watching a plane fly slowly by in the sky.
In sports, we like to say, yeah, something happened in the blink of an eye or in an instant, but it's like literally an instant.
It's literally in the blink of an eye. You blink and you'll miss it. You'll wreck.
How good are you at not blinking, Parker?
Elite. Next level.
I would say stare down, but we're right now, what, 38 minutes in? I'm not gonna...
He hasn't blinked once, I bet.
No blinking.
Everyone go back, watch the YouTube. Just to blink.
I'm just so disappointed. No, I always see those reflex drills. And actually, I mean, they're just so good. They're next level. I mean, just crazy how quickly they think. Like, it's crazy. But I do think reflexes should be like trained just like weightlifting. You know what I mean? Where like, why don't you just like train your reflexes, like train your like hand-eye coordination? You know what I mean? And that way you get stronger and your hand-eye gets better, so you get more athletic. It's an untapped market, I think, for like people who like own gyms and stuff. Like, there's nobody like going out there putting out drills for reflexes and hand-eye coordination. Just untapped potential. I can see the vision for it. So if you do like, I could just see it. Just like growing
business
idea. Yeah, business idea. Not for me, for someone else. Someone listening to this.
Mm-hmm. Make it happen. Someone.
It's like for example, like Zumba or Pilates. You get a trend going where like everybody is focusing on their reflexes and their hand-eye coordination to get more athletic, because it translates to every sport. And then you open a bunch of gyms with like the materials to train for like just hand-eye and like coordination and stuff. And so you start a bunch of classes with it, and everything in your gym is geared towards it. And then you open you franchise your gym, and then you open a bunch of gyms all throughout the nation. I could totally see it. Then you start your own clothing brand, in association with the gym, that it just gets huge.
Yeah. I think, you call the gym Reflex, and then the logo is like a flexing arm, but it's reflexes. So you get like, people are like, oh, flex gym, there's that arm. And then it's like training your reflexes. So I think we've got a name already, and we can go from there.
100%. What do you think, Liam? You think it's a good idea?
Oh, that's a fantastic idea. I can tell you right now, every single driver will be buying into it, guaranteed.
Yes. Ooh. Oh, we can get endorsements.
Jackpot.
There we go.
Perfect. Oh man. Can you give us your best story from your time at Full Sail, Liam?
Oh, my best story. As in stories I've written or experiences?
Experiences.
Ooh. Oh, remember the, what is it? Remember the movie trailer we had to make?
Yes. In, what month was that?
Oh my gosh, I forget. It was so long.
A while ago.
It was New Media Tools.
Okay, so January. Beginning of 2023.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we had to, I forget that movie too. What was it? Good Guys?
Oh wait, no. New Media Tools was November or December 2022. My bad.
This is what
anyway.
happens when you have a 20-month program.
It all blurs together. Yeah. So that was almost a year ago.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, we had to make movie trailers.
Yeah. Well, I think you guys ended up making a music video. If I remember correctly.
My group did a movie, but yeah, a couple groups did music videos.
Oh, Tyreek did the music video. That's
right. Yeah. We'll be discussing that when he's on. We're saving that.
But so during this video, we had to film a portion of me pretending to get punched in the face at a 7-Eleven. So there's a 7-Eleven right down the street, and we actually walked into the 7-Eleven, and we were like, hey, the people I was working with, one of them literally went up to the cashier and said, hey, can we film him getting punched in the face? So, and we created a whole fake ID for me too for this. I don't know if I still have it or not though.
I do remember that. It was McLovin one.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
McLovin. Oh my gosh, from Hawaii.
Yeah. It was pretty convincing. It was a good fake ID.
So we ended up going and filming that, and they literally told me, because I had never seen the movie, they told me to literally walk forward, say a few lines, and then just fall over as one of the guys comes over and pretends to punch me in the face. I'm like, okay. Well, I walk forward, I say the lines, and I wait for him to come, and then all of a sudden, I'm actually punched in the face and thrown on the ground.
What?
He was too realistic.
Too realistic.
Did he not know that he was supposed to fake punch you?
I went to... So he was standing off to the side. I think I went too close to him. He just stood there, and he had a point where he wanted to punch, trying to punch over here. Gotta punch at you guys. But
his depth perception was just.
Plus, I was wearing my jacked up glasses from like 3 years prior because they were my spare glasses, and I can't even see them out of them anymore. So I couldn't tell where I was in the store.
Wow. So the trailer of your best story, to connect it to the trailers, is just, I got punched in the face at Full Sail University.
Punched in the face at Full Sail University. And it was one of the best times I've had here. And it was such a fun group to be around.
Wow. Yeah. Good for the 7-Eleven person just to roll with that. Like, I mean, I'm sure it's happened. They're like, oh yeah, these Full Sail kids, always recording.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is awesome. That happened to us, to me, Jake, and Alex when we were filming our Burger King commercial, for I forget what class, but yeah, we were in the Burger King parking lot, and Jake was doing sit-ups shirtless, and we had two guys just like drive by in their truck, and one of them rolled down the window, and the other one had his phone recording. They were like, "What you doing?" We're like, "We're making a video." I showed them my Full Sail ID for some reason. I was like, "We're with Full Sail," as if that meant anything to them. Like maybe it did. Who knows? And they're like, "All right, have fun," and just drove off. I think people from around here are just kind of like, yeah, the Full Sail kids are just like out and about filming stuff. I don't know what they're doing.
We've shown that video so many times. I don't think I can even like look at it anymore.
It's become a classic. Yeah, I think we've shown it to at least 3 different teachers, and they've all loved it. By the way, just yeah, it's a masterpiece in a weird way. We've got about 10 minutes left, so that is perfect. For those of you who have been, this is season 2. For those of you who listened to season 1, I would say the like first half of season 1, even. I don't remember when the last time we've played this was, but it's been a while. We're bringing back the Weird Name Game, which, for those of you who don't know, is a segment where we see Parker. Yep, the nostalgia just hit Parker.
Sport is NASCAR, okay? And the word is Nash holes.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
Because-
Wow, it's Steve Nash. Okay. So it's NASCAR.
Mhm.
What is a Nash hole?
Mhm. There's no way you're getting this.
A Nash hole. It's a gap. It's what the so you're driving in your car going really fast.
Yeah.
A Nash hole is a gap between cars that is like it's small, like Steve Nash, but like just wide enough that you can fit through.
False. But I like that definition better.
As long as your
They should
definition
change-
sounds good and you're confident about
Yeah.
it, you can pull it off.
Yeah, I know. I do like that. But actually it means people who are fans of NASCAR. See?
Really? Nash holes?
Yep.
Just
Nash holes.
NASCAR fans.
Yep, NASCAR fans. So if you like NASCAR, you're a Nash hole.
That sounds terrible.
Oh
Why'd
my
you
God.
say it so fast? That made it sound worse.
Oh, yeah.
If we were on like an actual like live show, that definitely would have gotten bleeped.
Oh yeah, totally. Whoops. Okay.
I didn't even think about that until you said it in like
Oh.
you just said Nash
I didn't
holes,
think about it
and you
either.
kind of said like you split it up like it was 2 words.
Yeah.
And then
Oh my God.
wow.
I didn't think about that either.
Okay. So
Weird Name Game is not necessarily names, it's more like terms. We find sports terms and then we quiz each other on them because we like to find obscure ones. Parker and I will just be doing the guessing today. Liam has all of our terms for this episode. He'll be quizzing me and Parker on some weird racing terms, and Parker and I have to guess what those terms mean, and I'm sure we're gonna nail every single one of them.
I did
Oh,
watch.
trust me, it's gonna be great.
You're right, because I did. Oh, I was gonna say I did watch
You watched what?
season 1 of Formula One, so I like the documentary. So I
Oh, so you're prepared.
yes.
You got this. Yeah, no problem.
All right, you ready?
So, yes, let's go with 3 terms.
3 terms. All right, we'll start it off easy. I'll do 3 terms from different motorsport professions.
Okay, start off easy. We can go easy, medium, hard.
There you go. So, our first one. What is a bump and run?
Bump and
Whoa. Okay. This sounds pretty literal. Like you bump the car and go past them is my first thought. What are you thinking, Parker?
Well, are we doing this together, or are we like enemies in this?
I mean, I was thinking we're teammates.
Okay.
If you want to be enemies, we can.
No, let's be
Okay. I think it's more entertaining if we like try to figure it out together.
okay. We're teammates. So, I mean, that's a good point. You know, a bump and run is like, I mean, in golf, it's when you like get it barely on the green and then it trickles on into the hole, you know? So maybe in racing, it's like, okay, you barely, you barely get somewhere, and then like, you let it go out or something. You let it, run out or something. I don't know. Oh, like you run out of gas. Like when you run out of gas, you just kind of let it run. You bump and you run because you run out of gas.
Bump.
You're bumpy and you're running. You think that's
Okay.
good?
So those are our two guesses, I guess, that you bump a car and go past them, or that you run out of gas and your car is like coasting.
All right. Just for funsies, I want to throw an additional one in there. Which motorsport profession do you think this term?
Ooh.
I'll say which series.
Okay. It's not F1 because the cars can't touch. So my first thought is NASCAR. What's IndyCar? I don't know. Are they allowed to touch in that? My first thought is NASCAR. Do you want to go with something other than that, Parker?
I was thinking Series 3. Is that not a series?
Based on Liam's face,
I thought that was the bumper car series.
just from the face he made.
I wasn't expecting it, but it's a good guess.
Oh, bumper cars. Yeah, that's what it's from. It's from amusement park bumper cars. Final answer.
Park bumper cars. Okay. The bump and run is a term used in NASCAR.
Got that.
It refers to when a vehicle bumps another vehicle, usually mid-turn, out of the way so that it may proceed with a pass.
I think I would give us a point on that.
That's pretty accurate. I think we deserve a point.
We'll share the point.
Yeah,
Even though I come up, that's team point.
yeah, point.
There we go.
Team.
That was the easy one. Yeah. What?
All right. Second one. What is alphabet soup?
We did this one. Did we do this one?
Hold on. We both. Wait. Okay. We gotta get this. We've done this before. Wait.
This was
Wait.
2 years ago.
Absolutely years ago. Oh.
No, you totally gave this one to me, Owen. I just don't.
Dude, we have to get this now. One, we have to get this, and two, now the unfortunate thing about this is I'm gonna have to spend like a couple hours going back through old episodes to find the clip. But oh man, dude, we for sure have done this in a weird name game. Okay, alphabet
done
soup. Let's think. Something about a wreck potentially.
That's true.
Because like you get all scrambled up.
Alphabet. I'm thinking Red Bull.
The stakes are so high on this now.
I'm thinking pit stop. Pit stop.
Do you want me to
80
give
to
you a hint on this one?
80.
Sure.
Yeah, give us a hit.
All right. I'm just gonna say now you guys are far off. You guys are far off, so I'm gonna give you a hint.
Okay.
It's a format.
Oh man, did we do this?
That's all I'm gonna say.
A
It's a format. Alphabet soup.
Oh, it's
Maybe we did a different form of alphabet soup.
And no, it's a format. So like a format.
What?
It's like a floor plan, like a
So like
floor plan. The course
like a racetrack layout?
the racetrack layout. The
Okay.
racetrack design.
I was thinking either course layout. Okay. But how would alphabet soup apply to that? Is it like a really twisty track?
Because
Or like
you're going from
the other side?
you're going from A to Z and you need the whole thing detailed.
Well, wait, our turn is it like turn A, turn B, turn C, and like then it's alphabet soup because the turns are all over the place?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. I think that's our final answer. A twisty turny track.
I'm sorry. The answer for this is, and it goes over multiple series, which is why I didn't ask you which series it's from. The answer for this is Alphabet Soup is actually the format of a racing night. It's how the races are run. Especially in American motorsport and dirt racing, you have different mains leading up to the main event. These mains are organized in A, B, C, D, E, F, and usually it ends in G, with the A main being the main event.
Gotcha. Yeah, okay, we definitely did some type of other alphabet soup in our weird name game. I don't remember what it was, but it was not that. So we really threw ourselves off by thinking it was the one we had done previously.
Yeah, we did alphabet broth. This was like alphabet soup.
Oh yeah, love some alphabet broth. My favorite. Okay, so still the 1 point. I'm not feeling great after that performance going into the hard, but we'll try our best.
All right. Now I'm going to give you two terms. You got to figure out
Jeopardy.
Which one is a maneuver and which one is a section of track.
Oh, okay. I like this.
And what motorsport it's from.
Okay.
All right.
One is a maneuver. One is a section of track.
Yes.
Okay.
First term is Bubba Scrub.
Bubba Scrum?
Bubba Scrub.
Scrub.
Like
Bubba Scrub. Okay.
And the second term is Dragonback.
Oh, boy. Okay. So we've got Bubba Scrub and Dragonback.
All right. So I'm immediately thinking Bubba Watson, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yep. Exactly where my mind went.
So
Dragons, my mind went to the How to Train Your Dragon.
yes, and Pokemon. So if we combine those, you kind of get what's the output, right? So
yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. And when you combine racing into it as well, so you throw all those things into your alphabet soup, you mix them around. I'm not sure what comes out because
I think it's La Liga. I think it's La Liga. That's the series. But then in terms of I think the Dragon Ball.
Isn't that a soccer?
The Dragon.
Isn't that soccer? This is motorsports, man.
I don't know.
I mean,
it is motorsports. I'm pretty sure. So.
Yeah. The La Liga de Racing. Don't look it up, Liam. He's making a joke. Don't. It's not.
I think the Drags won. The track one.
I would agree because I think a Dragonback is like a descriptor, and a Bubba Scrub is an action, like you're scrubbing. So that's a maneuver that you would do, and a Dragonback is like you remember in elementary school there was that one day every year where you would go into the nurse's office and everyone would get scoliosis tested.
Yeah.
It's like the nurse would look at your back. If you've got scoliosis, you've got a dragon back.
Yes.
Oh, I'm
I guess I have a dragon's back.
Talking about all sorts of the episode started off with Parker thinking I was saying old people were going to die in the summer. Then we talked about two different people getting paralyzed. Then we talked about Dale Earnhardt Sr. dying. Now we're talking about Liam's scoliosis. This is just, man.
We might have to do this. We haven't covered everything, so we might have to do this in 2 parts.
Race car drivers have it rough, man. Jeez.
That's just me.
So, yeah.
We got 2 minutes left, so.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, we decided Dragon's Back is the track, because it's like or it's either windy or it's bumpy because dragons have spikes on their back. So windy or bumpy track. And then the Bubba Scrub is a maneuver where
You spin
there's-
around in circles.
That's Parker's answer. My answer will be that there's two cars. One of them like slides up against the other one, and it's on a dirt track. So like you slide against them, and it like knocks the dirt off, and therefore you're like scrubbing it clean. And the type of race is La Liga,
Okay.
the soccer.
The type of motorsport is motocross and supercross.
Almost had it.
The part of the track was Dragonback, which refers to an elevating series of rhythm section, which is a series of bumps and jumps
What was? I had that.
that's escalating with a small jump at the end.
Okay.
The Bubba Scrub is a maneuver where the bike is twisted sideways in the air to scrub across a flat jump as close as you can to the ground to get across the other side.
We did not have that one, but we got that it was a maneuver, so that's what matters. I'm pretty proud of us, Parker. I think we did a good job.
I agree.
We used logic and reasoning, and we did it.
We pulled through.
The power of friendship. We can do anything. That was episode 18. Thank you, Liam, for joining us, even though we ended up on some pretty weird, sad topics. But we laughed a lot, too. So it was a good balance of, tragedy and laughter. The life of a race car driver. Tragedy and laughter.
Oh, that is in a nutshell.
There you go. Perfect. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you again, Liam, for joining us. We'll be back in 2 weeks with episode 19 and another Sportscaster. Whoa, balloons? How'd you do that?
I didn't do that.
It just did that for you when you... Wait, when I throw up a sign, does it do it?
Oh no.
What? Early in the episode, you did a thumbs up, and a thumbs up appeared behind your head. I wonder... I hope that shows up in the final edit. Like, I hope it records that. So you did peace and the balloons just... I've never seen it do that before. Where's that? On.
Yeah, do it again.
Wow. Okay. What happened? How did it know?
I don't know.
That was so weird. What if you do a thumbs up again? Does the thumbs up pop behind your head?
Oh,
Yes, there it is.
there's bubbles. What? What?
That's
Wait, hold on. Hold on.
But it doesn't. No, it doesn't happen for us. I don't think. Just yours.
What is happening here?
There it is.
that's so cool.
So weird.
Do a peace sign. Do a peace sign.
Well, but that didn't work.
So you have to face it forward. You have to keep it forward.
It only works. It only likes Liam.
What the heck?
What's going on? We have to try this with other guests now. We'll have people on the podcast and be like, all right, here we go. Welcome, guest. Just throw up a peace sign if you could. And then they'll be like, what's happening?
Do a phone.
Welcome to the show. Balloons.
What the heck? I want to do that.